Hey everybody, welcome to the Cliff Yates channel. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm going live today in the vertical mode. And as always, I have a motive. I have a reason why I do that. When I go live vertically on YouTube, it shows up in the shorts feed, and then I get to connect with people who aren't already subscribed. And I like doing that for a couple different reasons. The one reason is I connect with new people who are stumbling across my channel in the shorts feed, and they wonder who this crazy bastard is. Well, it's me, Cliff Yates. And the second reason I do it is because it's raw and real. I have no teleprompter. It's almost always from my head through my heart, out through my mouth. And sometimes I can't keep up with my own thoughts and I stumble over my words, but that's a good thing because I leave the mistakes in. Because in today's world where so much content is auto-generated by AI, sometimes we don't know what the hell is real and what is fake. Sometimes we know it's fake. It has to be fake, and it's pretty obvious. And sometimes it's pretty entertaining, some of the fake AI stuff. I got to put my hats off to some of the creators who obviously make content that's going to be known to be AI generated, but it's very funny and it's entertaining. And I usually go live usually on my drive to the gym or when I get in the car and I'm going somewhere. Hey, thanks for checking in, everybody. If you haven't already, leave a comment. And I know a lot of people are stumbling across my channel in the shorts feed, so please subscribe to the channel. It's all great content. I guarantee you, money back guarantee. Won't cost you a thing, but all positive self-improvement. And really, more than motivation, it's a disciplined way of thinking. Our brains do not think, but we think with our brain. That was a concept that I picked up today I want to share with you. That's one of the things I want to share this morning. But like I was saying, I usually go live on my trip to the gym, which I will be on my way very shortly. But then I don't always get to see the comments. And usually when I get stopped, then I get to interact with some people who have jumped on board. But thank you already for all those who are monitoring the channel and checking in on me. All great stuff. And I want to talk today about frequency and vibration and how much that is a big part of our life. And it's like the law of attraction became, that whole movie and book became so viral that everybody was talking about the law of attraction. But really, that's a secondary law. The primary law is vibration. Vibration is going to cause a magnetism in us that's going to attract things to us. Hey, most men think with something else. I got to put that comment on there. Hey, most men think with something else. Hey, Clone XL, just thanks for interacting with me. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I guess that's in response to me saying that our brain doesn't think. We think with our brain. And most men think with another head. I get what you're saying. So true. Well, hey, if you love good frequency and vibration, you are in the right place. That's what I want to talk about that today. Is something we really need to understand, that if we're going to take control of our relationships, we're going to take control of our body, we're going to take control of our job and our wealth, right? It all starts with the brain and activating brain cells. To move my hand, I had to activate brain cells. I took control of doing that. And, that should give you some excitement to know that you are in control of how you think. And how you think is going to create the feelings, which are going to create vibrations. That's going to cause magnetism, and you're going to be attracted to like people and situations of the same frequency and vibrations. We are all transmitting and recepting machines. All right, maybe I can help you clone. Big Sausage from Canada. How are you? How's everything up there in Canada? Hey, yeah, I need to clone. I think you can help me clone from Canada. Let me know where you are in Canada. I have a summer home in the Thousand Islands, New York. Are you anywhere near that? Because one side of the St. Lawrence River, where the Thousand Islands is Canada, and the other side is New York. So my island is in Hammond, New York, Chippewa Bay, New York. Check it out. It's Elm Tree Island. Check it out on Google Earth, and maybe I'll see you this summer when I take a trip by boat over to Canada, which I do on occasion. So I'm just over on the American side in the St. Lawrence River. But let me know where you are in Canada. What do we got here? I think you're more amazing me. No. Listen. Hey, listen. One thing. Amazing 13. One thing we have to get really clear is, right, no one is better than anybody else. No one. Don't walk into a room being nervous about meeting someone. Think about other people, them being nervous and meeting you, right? That seems a little ridiculous, right? Hey, listen, no one is better than anybody else. We may be on a different plane or in a different position of power, depending on the circumstance, but no one is better than anybody else. No one is more amazing than you. You're already a winner. Your DNA says it, right? When you were in the sperm position, you're right. You beat out millions of others to the egg, and you were part of the consummation of life. So you're already a damn winner. Only by being programmed through your environment negatively have you ever become anything less. Only in your mind, because not in reality. Hey, you're wonderful. You know, my wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, used to call me Mr. Wonderful. I think I still am, but she's in a different spot, in a different place. So I normally, and hey, thanks everybody for checking in. Now I'm glad that I'm doing this in the podcast studio here, because I get to see all your comments. When I'm driving, I don't get to see that. So this is one reason why I wanted to do that. Normally don't take notes, but I did want to take some notes today because I was really studying from Bob Proctor, who's part of the Proctor Gallagher Institute. He passed away, I think, in 2002, but his videos are still out there, and he was in the movie The Secret. And so, I mean, he really talks about this vibration and our frequency deal, and he frequently talks about Wernher von Braun was a scientist, part of the space program that we hired him, I think, for NASA, but here he was a scientist, and he brought up how science and religion used to be very opposed, and now not so much. And Wernher von Braun was someone Bob Proctor quotes as saying, after all my study of the cosmos and all my understanding of study, I've come to realize there is a God, there is a creator. So all of a sudden, religion, the belief, our faith, is not so much opposed to science. But let's talk about everything's in vibration. Everything's moving all the time. It's amazing to think that when you start to realize everything's a vibration. Even the table that I put my hand on is a vibration. If you put it under a microscope, you would see everything moving. Our body looks like, our spirit leaves, our body is there. It looks like it's dead and not moving. If we put a microscope, obviously, the body is all of a sudden decaying. It's going to go back to dust. Everything is moving. Everything is a vibration. We start to understand that it's going to be very, very important in us going forward, because all of us here, and I suspect you, we know that we're meant for more. We're always in a state of becoming more. We're always growing. If we're not, we're dying, right? We got to understand both things. And that's what excites me at age 68. And I was thinking yesterday, actually, as I took a trip down the coast of Florida here, I had 3 heavy workout days in the gym where I was really pushing it with some heavy weights. Probably shouldn't have been. No injury, but really sore. And so I knew I had to take a couple of days off, right? Because that's when our body grows, and that's when the repair takes place, right, in our muscles. So I knew I had to take some days off. So I took a trip down the coast here to Vero Beach, and I was having lunch. And it kind of hit me why I feel such anxiety sometimes about taking a break. Because I was looking at some of the people around me. Listen, no disrespect. I hope it's not you sitting there. But some of these people I know were younger than me. And they were sitting there in such a decrepit state with their 65-inch waist and their low energy. And they were hobbling around. And, oh, man, I can't live that way. I don't want to be in that frequency, that vibration. There's no way. I am not part of that group. I don't give a shit if I'm on the same age group. I am not on their vibration. I am not on their frequency. And so I was opposing that vision and that thought with, I just finished a improv class with a group of people. There was a lady in there, 55-ish, but I was obviously the oldest person in the room. But there was no age in that room of us, the 10 to 12 of us that were in the class. And it was 4 weeks of doing improv games and scene work. And we were all on the same frequency and vibration of trying to learn, become more, become better improv actors. And that was such a great experience because we were in the moment in that class, and we were all on the same frequency and vibration. And it was really something great to experience. And it's funny, right? Hey, good to see you. Somebody that knows me, Anonymous 13, God bless you. High five back to you. Oh, man. I have to take the other side. Devil's advocate. I'm going to put devil's advocate here on the hey, it's always good to hold everything up to the light and test everything, devil's advocate. But hey, let's talk about this frequency and vibration thing. If you're in a positive frequency and you're in around a negative person, you're not going to feel comfortable in their presence. You're not going to feel comfortable. You're on a different frequency. If they're on a negative bent, they're on a negative vibration, and you're in a positive vibration, you're not going to feel comfortable around them, and you're going to want to get away from them. Right? Now, if somebody's in a negative place and they come around another person who is in a negative frequency, they feel comfortable, right? Misery loves company. Have you heard that saying? Why do these cliches happen, right? Misery loves company. People love to be around people of the same frequency and vibration. And that reminded me of something my pastor said in the church about a year ago. He was commenting how it's amazing how the negative people in this church find each other and they hang out together and they sit in the same place. Why? Because they feel comfortable around each other because they're on the same vibration. They're in the same frequency. Now, here is something Bob Proctor said in a video that I was watching. Here's an experiment that we can all use. So the next time you're around somebody on a negative frequency, you can tell, right? They're complaining. They're making negative comments about something or themselves. Start from a place of truth. Start asking them questions or make comments in a positive way about them. Start complimenting something about them in a positive way and watch how their energy starts to shift. You can start to shift their energy. You can probably have a big influence on them, right? As we all should, really take somebody in when you're in a conversation. You can do this by really paying attention to their eye color. If you start paying attention to what their eye color is, you're going to make deep eye contact with them, not in a creepy way. Don't do that. Check out their jewelry, right? Right? They might have dolphin earrings or a dolphin necklace. Make a comment. Hey, I like your necklace. Do you like dolphins, or what do dolphins mean to you? Do you know how many people take notice of their jewelry that's very important to them? Not too many people. Not very many people. Too many people are trying to think about what they're going to say in response to what the other person is saying. They're in their own head too much. And so now you can get out of your head. And so when you're with somebody, you know who they are. When they're complaining, they're in a negative frequency, negative vibration. Do that experiment. I'm going to be doing that today myself. Right? Start complimenting them from not in a fake way, something real about them that you can compliment, something positive you can actually steer their energy. You're probably going to notice they might start to light up. You might spark a positive fire in them. It gets to be kind of fun. And isn't that something different if we can start to have fun like we used to? Remember when we were kids, we had a lot of fun. Hey, Anonymous 13, God bless you. Thank everybody for checking in. And, oh, man, this is great. Positive. I don't know. Hey, maybe it's something I'm putting out there. When you put yourself out there publicly, if you're a creator, and you're going to get negative comments, people are going to snipe at you. You're going to get those keyboard warriors banging at you, throwing those spears at you. But I'll tell you, the last couple live broadcasts that I've done, I've noticed just a lot of positive comments, and it's too easy to go negative, right? It's very easy to go negative, even though it's just as easy to go positive. But we seem to default that way because out of preservation, our mind goes negative because our mind wants to stay alive. It wants to keep our body alive. We're in a good place. If you start to change your paradigm, the way you think, right, the way you do things, you start changing your thinking because you want to really affect your subconscious mind in a positive way so that you start taking actions in a different way to get different results. Your current paradigm, your current mind state from your subconscious is going to fight you. It's going to fight you in a big way. It's going to push back in a big way. It wants to stay comfortable. It does not want you pushing this. You're expanding your limits. You're putting yourself out there. You're growing beyond the comfort zone. But when you start to become aware of that, then you want to take that as a good sign. Oh shit, I'm getting out to that outer level. I'm starting to make a difference, because right before you have a positive change in the way your subconscious is processing information, and you're starting to operate at a higher frequency, a higher vibration, that's when you're going to feel the most pushback. Take that as a positive sign. You're making progress. You're going in the right direction. Just when you feel nothing's happening, you're gonna know now and be aware of the pushback that your current paradigm, the way you operate, the way you process information is pushing back on you. Then you know you're in a good spot. And great things are about to start happening for you. Push on. Keep going. You're going in the right direction. I mean, that is a good sign. I know it for a fact, because I can look back and I see a history. I see a track record that I did it. And thank you, everybody. All right, a lot of new subscribers. Hit that button, subscribe to the channel. Why? Cost you nothing. You'll get notified when the next video comes out, but it tells the computer, hey, more people are interacting with this channel, with this content. There must be something of value here. I'm going to show it to more people who are in this realm, this niche, if you will. And what's some... Talked about that already. See, if you're troubled and you're worried, you're going to attract a lot of bad energy. If you're in a place of fear, which is caused by worry and doubt, you're going to attract a lot of bad energy. People who are in a bad energy, bad vibration, they're going to feel very comfortable with you. You don't want that. It was in the Bible. I think it was Job who said, "Lo, the thing I feared has come upon me." You get yourself in a vibration or a frequency of fear, you're going to attract. I remember in football they said, if you fear being hurt, you're going to be hurt. And it was another way of saying you're going to attract that hurt to you. You're going to be injured because you're actually focusing on being injured. Your subconscious mind is going to create a circumstance where you are injured. Now, the coach wasn't coming from a knowledge of vibration and frequency, but it was actually what he was preaching and teaching. Fear is a very negative vibration. It's caused by doubt and worry. The Bible says, cast all your worry and doubt away and put it on God. Let him take care of it. Trust in God. Be anxious about nothing, but by prayer and petition with thanksgiving. Make all your requests to God. The Bible can be one of the best self-help leadership books there is. And hey, thank you, everybody. I appreciate the positive comments, even though I know in my mind I don't want to be doing things, to pander for comments, likes, and positive comments. And if you can immune yourself from being too drawn in and creating content for the purpose of likes or that dopamine hit of getting shares and subscribers, you can also immune yourself from the negative comments and go forward and do the right thing out of kindness, love, happiness, and joy. Those emotions that are on the higher frequency, we can operate there. If we find ourselves and we're self-aware, we'll know when we start sliding in to the lower frequency of vibrations of doubt, worry, fear, and we can get ourselves back on track. Everybody, you have the ability to do that. You and I both. When you ask somebody how they feel, right, and they say, I don't feel too well, it's really what they're trying to tell you is what their vibration and their frequency is. I just don't feel well. They're in a negative vibration. When people feel wonderful, how do you feel? I feel unbelievable. They're in a positive vibration. People will tell you how they feel. They're really expressing what vibration and frequency they are in. When you're in a good vibration with a person and a negative vibration, you're not going to feel comfortable in the presence of that person. I talked about that already, right? Misery loves company. I went into that. Here's another example that Bob was talking about. I know we've all been there. I've been there. I've talked about this before about being in a room when someone comes in with a negative vibe or a negative energy. You feel it. You're repelled by it, right? Dogs know this right off the bat. Isn't it amazing? A dog can be sleeping. Someone of a negative energy and vibration, maybe a criminal, can walk into a room. They will automatically growl at that person. That person hasn't said or done anything to that dog. And yet another person could come in. That dog will immediately go to them, is drawn to them. The dogs are really good receivers of vibrations and energy, positive energy and negative energy. They feel it, they sense it, and they will automatically let you know as their owner that they're in the presence of negativity and maybe even danger. They sense it. And so, but we can do the same thing. We can train ourselves to be better sensors of negative frequencies and negative energies and make sure that we're not around it too much, because it will have an effect on us. But you've ever gone into a restaurant, right? And you sit down and you automatically feel like something's wrong here, right? There's a negative vibration in the place. You're not even around any people. Just being in the restaurant, you felt the negativity. You felt a negative vibration. You should get up right then and get the hell out of there. Walk out of that place, right? I've been in those places. I've walked in, sat down. Automatically, I haven't even been contacted yet, and I feel the negativity, the negative vibrations, the negative frequency. It's in the air, everybody. We are all transmitting machines, and we are receiving machines. Our brain does not think. I talked about this earlier, but we think with our brain. So that's the tool we got to use. We think with our brain. If you're creating all of the vision boards, you are doing all of the incantations, you are saying all these positive things to yourself on a daily basis, and you don't feel that anything is happening. That's because you're operating with the visions, the images, the imagination, which is important to change our vibration. But if you're doing that 5% of your day, the problem is 95% of your time, your already programmed subconscious is operating most of the time. That's the dominating operating system. We can have an effect on that, but we got to ramp that up so that 95% of the time we're impacting our subconscious. Our subconscious is deductive. It will not argue with you. It takes commands. It does no thinking. It accepts. Your subconscious is like the earth. Whatever you plant in it can grow. You can take a piece of earth, toiled soil, turned over soil, spread out dirt, ready to receive the seed, and you can plant a seed of corn. And right next to that seed of corn, you can plant a plant of poison. And they both will grow. The soil will not reject the poison seed. It's going to take whatever you plant in there, and it will allow that to grow. The same thing happens with us, with what we're planting in our subconscious mind. The subconscious, subjective mind is not going to argue with you. So let's start planting what we want. What we want will come to us naturally when we get on the right frequency, when we are in harmony with that frequency and that vibration. People will take a walk on the beach. They will take a walk in the forest amongst the trees and the plants and the flowers, and they will come back feeling, God, this walk in the forest. I'll just walk on the beach. I feel so positive after this walk. Why? Because you're around the vibration and frequency of nature, and that is perfect. That frequency, that vibration is perfect. Inside your cubicle, in the fake lights, cut off from the outside world, sunlight, and the negative ion vibrations of water and plants, you are going to have anxiety, tension, worry, doubt, and fear, and you're going to be going into that kind of vibration and frequency. Now, if you're forced to be in that kind of environment for work, making a living, you just have to consciously start rebalancing yourself, even if it's during your lunch hour. Step outside. Step outside. I got to get some sun on my face. You don't have to look directly into the sun. Just get out there and get sun on your body. Take a deep breath. Expand those lungs with as fresh air as you can. If you're on your lunch hour, you can take a walk in Central Park, and you're going to feel so much better. Why? Because you are just in and around the frequency and vibration of nature, which is perfect. That's why we feel so good after the walk on the beach, on the trail, in the forest, and it's all good stuff. Stuff that we can do consciously if we make that decision. Let's get on the proper vibrations, everybody. It's vibration and frequency. Vibration and frequency. Thanks, everybody, for checking in. I appreciate everybody that made the comments. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, everybody. And I'm on my way to the gym. Maybe I'll do another live on the way to the gym and how important. I think that changes your frequency. It definitely will change your state. And what is your state but a reflection of your frequency and your vibration? And how do we change our state, right? We already know the tools that we have, and that's changing our physiology, the way we're moving our bodies. And then we're changing our focus, what we're looking at, what we're focusing our mind on. We're locked in on what we're going to be doing next, what is next. And we're changing the words we say to ourselves. 3 things: physiology, focus, self-talk will change your state and your vibration. And that's why getting into the gym, automatically, you're changing the way you're moving your body. You're changing your focus, and you're changing what you're saying to yourself. It's a natural antidepressant. Believe me, part of going to the gym and why you feel so great is the frequency you're creating in your body, the state you're creating through physiology, focus, and self-talk, but also the dopamine, the oxytocin, those hormones that get dumped into your body as a result of you having to direct muscles by your brain and all of the interconnected movements that you have to make to safely try to push yourself to overload muscles in a certain way so that on our rest day, when we provide the proper nutrition, amino acids, proteins, and fats, our muscle is repaired in preparation to meet the next weight load that they know is coming, because you're working out on a consistent basis in a progressive resistance mode, always trying to make the body respond to the load that you've given it. It's a stress, but it's a you stress that you did on purpose. And that's the stress that we like, the stuff that we decide. We've decided to do the hard things. And when we do the hard things, life becomes much easier every way and every day it happens. When we take the easy way, life becomes harder. The easy way of sleeping in. It's easier to sleep in. It's easier not to go to the gym. It's easier not to try something new. It's easier not to put ourselves in a position where we're going to be uncomfortable and do things in a poor way because we've never done them before. Because we've attained a certain amounts of competency or confidence in one area of our life, and that creates a good feeling, vibration, and frequency. And so for us to step out and try something new because we want to expand who we are as a person, we've got to be willing to put ourselves in a position where we're not going to do this very well. We are going to look stupid doing it because we can't do it. We can't do it very well, but we want to keep learning and we want to keep growing because we want to become more. And if we can become more, we can add more value to the marketplace, not just in life in general. God already loves us. Our family loves us. Our friends love us. But if we want to be more valuable to the marketplace, which is how we get paid, then we want to be always creating more value within. It's an inside job. And then we can share that value with other people. And the law of compensation says money's going to come to us. And that's the way it's going to happen today for us, everybody. Hey, listen, I'm going to get down to the gym. I got to get it done. It's on my schedule. And as we've talked before, if you put it on your schedule, it's going to happen. When you get in the habit, here's a powerful habit you can start today. If you don't already do it, right? Keep the habit of keeping every appointment with yourself. Because when you can start doing that, you're going to be sending a message to everybody around you. You keep your appointments. You're a person of your word. And there's nothing more value than your personal character and your personal morals that you can positively impact other people with, because it's going to reflect right back on you. You're going to get that right back on you. All right, everybody. You know I love you in a positive way. Thanks, everybody, for checking in. As always, you are in the right place. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I hope you feel the positive energy. It's really coming from a place of authenticity, realness. It's no BS. And you can have that energy too, because the energy in the whole damn universe comes to and through us if we will allow it. You look at a bunch of other people who are 68 years old like myself. You see them shuffling around with low energy, right? Low drive, low ambition. You don't want to be a part of that when you get to be that age. I'm not a part of that, and I'm that age. No way, baby. We don't have to be. We are the dictators of ourselves. All right, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. I am off to the gym.